much data can be found concerning magnetic effects on our health. I read an article saying that Clinton had stopped funding into the power line controversy, and much of what is sold through the media depends on AC voltage for its functioning. Around the beginnings of the 1900s, Edison was set up in his workshop, poised to become a great leader. Tesla comes over from Europe and goes to work for Edison, notices that he is going to use DC voltage to electrify towns and cities, takes that information to Westinghouse, which supports him monetarily in efforts to get around Edison's patents on DC voltage by using AC voltage instead. Edison said you'd be a fool to use AC rather than DC, and I think it was mainly because you could get electrocuted so easily with AC voltage. Now data shows that just being close to the wires of AC voltage is detrimental to our health. The data indicates we are inflicting harm upon ourselves and others, and for political reasons unable to rectify the situation by returning to DC voltage. I came across some old data indicating that a guy named Felix Ehrenhaft has done some research with magnetic fields. His experiments led him to believe that he discovered or noticed what he called magnetic current, a flowing of energy from pole to pole through what we have noticed as the flux lines of a magnet. He came to that conclusion because of his experiments where particles, minute particles, would be disrupted around the magnet, and he claimed it was a flow of magnetic current causing this to occur. Tesla experimented with transmitting electricity by way of the electromagnetic spectrum, similar to the way microwaves and radios work. According to his plan, each household would have had a receiver and got their electricity energy through a wireless connection. Do organelles within cells harness radiating energy by way of the electromagnetic spectrum? Do they construct within themselves receivers that collect a naturally occurring background radiating energy? Do the single-celled organisms that create the magnetite particles use the magnetic current flowing around those particles to help stir the contents within their body? Is this a form of harnessing a naturally occurring background energy?
Who's a theorist, and he looked at this. Everybody went crazy, and they looked and they tried to imagine what was happening, and he came up with a pretty way-out idea, and it seems to be right. In the fractional quantum Hall effect, you measure the charge of the collective state of electrons. So these electrons have a collective behavior, and you can measure with this effect the charge of that, and it turns out to be fractional.
Oh, I see. So there's something different that happens when they act together as opposed to acting individually.
That's exactly right. And it's very interesting to see how they act together, and it's connected with the magnetic field they're in. If you take the magnetic field away, this whole effect goes away. So it's related to the magnetic flux through this two-dimensional gas.
While sharing this idea of magnetrition on a forum, I inspired this comment, which describes how this person used magnets in a unique way for healing. It appears to me that this indicates the use of magnets for healing has been occurring for many generations. Magnets were embedded into the hooves of horses that were having problems with the growth of those hoofs. The theory of magnetrition indicates magnets placed on the body would be detrimental, but in this case, the magnets would be slowly removed from the body by the growth of the hooves. This indicates that temporarily placing magnets on the body could stimulate healing in the same way that a cut or a bruise does. Another comment I received on the internet agreed with the benefits of smoking, but pointed out the drawback of going to jail, indicating that people are afraid of doing good the proper thing because of the behavior of the police in our society today. In response to sharing the connection between Jesus and the mass utilization of the bed in our history, I was told that many that I was sharing it with did not believe in God. What would cause many not to believe in God in our society today? Would killing the prophets, eliminating God's spokesman, prevent the truth from being taught today? That's Magnetrition Update for March 2009.
She tried to understand what they said, but their speech was so old-fashioned and undefined that she could not make much of it. All that had happened to her, all was plain. She understood it all, and saw that everything meant the same thing, though she could not have put it into words again.